Welcome back everyone, I'm Keplays Games and this is Fallout 4 and welcome back to the Chemistry Station demonstration part 2. In the previous part we looked at chems and healing items and today we're looking at explosives. So let's get into the blast proof bunker, seal ourselves in and get to work. And the first explosive item we're going to look at are fragmentation grenades. You should find frag grenades everywhere. Lots of enemies drop them. They're found in containers all over the Commonwealth. But if you have run out of them for some reason, I mean they are good fun, you can make them yourself. You'll find these obviously in the grenade section. And these require 3 adhesive, 2 aluminium, 2 fertilizer, 3 oil and 1 spring. Aluminium comes from many different sources. Things like aluminium canisters, obviously, surgical trays, some cutlery and plates can be aluminum as well. Good places to find them is the Corvega assembly plant has about 100 spread throughout it, like hubcaps and things like that, all the various car parts. The Hallucigen command center has a lot of aluminum inside it, again roughly 100, and all the way on the right hand side of the map, all the way in the northeast, in the macro fish packing plant there are a lot of aluminum trays. Again, you'll come away with about 100 units of aluminum. If you don't want to go to these places and fight people for aluminum, you can simply buy it from a couple of traders. Rufus in Good Neighbor will sell you shipments of aluminum, and Arturo Rodriguez, the weaponsmith in Diamond City Market, will also sell you shipments of aluminum. Likewise, oil comes from many different places like aluminum canisters, oil canisters, Mr. Handy Fuel, cigarette lighters, things like that. Not difficult to find. One place you can find it right at the start of the game is in Sanctuary, in your house. You go into the utility room where the HVAC is and you will find 1 unit of Mr. Handy oil, which I believe is 3 oil. If it's wrong, you'll see it on the screen right now. Certainly another good place to find lots of Mr. Handy Fuel is right outside the Super Duper Mart, where you'll find 4 in a cage outside the front door of the Super Duper Mart. That's a really good place to find lots of oil at the start of the game. Springs are also abundant. Things like plastic pens will have springs in them, and clipboards that you find everywhere will have springs in them. But a really good source of springs is Giddy Up Buttercup parts, like the legs, the body, the heads. And good places to find Giddy Up Buttercups are the Wilson Automatoys HQ, which is in the south end of the city. If you zoom in, here it is, right here. You just go past Diamond City, follow the flyover, and you'll find the Wilson Automatoys HQ. It's full of super mutants, but it's also full of Giddy Up Buttercup parts. Lots of springs to be had there. And very similar, all the way in the south end of the map, there is the Wilson Automatoys factory, where they make Giddy Up Buttercups. This again is infested with super mutants, one of which has a minigun, and it's also infested with a lot of Giddy Up Buttercup parts. Really good places to find springs. There is, as far as I know, only one merchant that sells springs, but it's okay. It's Crazy Myrna in Diamond City Market. Not difficult to get to. You get to Diamond City fairly early in the game. So speak to Crazy Myrna and she'll sell you a big lot of springs. Once you have your aluminum, oil and springs, you can then make your fun boom booms. So grenade, frag grenade. As we see on the left hand side, my grenades do 432 damage. Because the base damage of 150 has been increased greatly by my Demolition Expert skill. Considering you need Demolition Expert rank 2 to even create these frag grenades, you will do significantly more than the base level of 150 damage by the time you're able to even create them. So 432 at max skill and a much wider area of effect makes frag grenades deadly all the way through the game. The next grenade we're going to talk about are the Hallucigen Gas Grenades. And as you can imagine, you get these in the Hallucigen building, which is along the waterfront. You go to the Charles View Amphitheatre and you turn right and Hallucigen is right here. You will have to fight your way all the way through a big horde of raiders unless you've already cleared it out, or if you have master lockpicking skill. In which case you can pick the lock, go in the back door, kill the gunner commander and the one other gunner who's in the final room, and that is where you will also find the hallucinogen gas canisters. Now these do not respawn very quickly, they only respawn at the same speed that the hallucinogen building itself respawns, and if you're playing survival mode that means it will be a very long time, so these things are very rare. And indeed you actually have to have them on your body, otherwise the recipe will not show up on the chemistry station. These are a quest item because they are given as part of the quest that Fred in Good Neighbor gives you. If I can find my quest items, here they are. I have 4 of them on my body, and that is why when I go to grenade I can actually see the recipe. You see, it does say we have 8 hallucigen gas canisters. That's because 4 of them are in the workbench, but if you have them in the workbench they will not show up on this menu. You have to have them on your person, so remember to put them in your pocket if you want to make them. And as we see, the ingredients are 3 adhesive, 2 aluminium, 1 spring and 1 hallucigen gas canister. These do 1 damage and they have a chance to cause frenzy on the target. And the frenzy makes things attack each other, and if you have your demolition expert ranked up enough, that means that the radius of effect is larger. So if you're in a really tough fight with lots of enemies, throw one of these and hope that they all turn on each other. I mean, I'd rather just throw a frag grenade in the middle of them and kill them all, but you know, you can make hallucigen gas grenades. They're a little bit of a gimmick, but they're a little bit of fun, and it is something you can make. The next thing we're going to be making are Molotov cocktails, and anyone who has played survival mode will be traumatized by these things because they are usually the first thing that kill you. Very early in survival mode, anything that tosses a Molotov at you will one-shot you, or you will very soon perish. The good thing about Molotovs is, as we see on the right hand side, there is no perk requirement. You can build these right at the start of the game as long as you have 2 adhesive, 1 cloth, 2 glass and 4 oil. Cloth is not hard to come by. Couches, chairs, newspapers, cigarettes, money, soft toys, all breaks down into cloth. If you don't want to break that stuff down, lots of people sell it. Connie in Abernathy Farm will sell you shipments of cloth. Lucas Miller, the armourer who patrols around between Covenant, County Crossing and the Slog, he kind of does in Greentop Nursery, he kind of operates here. If you find him, he'll sell you shipments of cloth. Over in Grey Garden, a Supervisor Green will sell you cloth. As you can imagine, in Diamond City Market, in Fallon's, Becky Fallon will sell you cloth. And for some strange reason, Danny Finch in Finch Farm will also sell you shipments of cloth. Cloth is not difficult to come by. Glass is also not difficult to come by. Glass bottles, we know how frequently you'll find glass bottles. They have glass in them. Lamps, light bulbs, oil lamps, all things like that will have glass. And again, lots of people will sell you it. It tends to be the medics, which is strange. But in Diamond City Market, Dr. Soon will sell you shipments of glass. Bartender Charlie in the Third Rail in Good Neighbor will also sell you shipments of glass. The Dr. K in Bunker Hill will sell you shipments of glass. And Doc Weathers, the travelling doctor, will sell you glass. Doc Weathers can usually be found patrolling the Slog and County Crossing, places in the northeast of the map, but he'll sell you glass. So yeah, glass is not difficult to come by. And when you've got all these ingredients, you bring them here, you make yourself a Molotov cocktail. Now Molotovs do only do 50 damage base, mine do 145, which isn't great compared to frags doing damn near 500, but they do burn damage over time. And when you have ranked up your demolition expert, the area of effect is pretty big, so you can set lots of things on fire, do lots of damage over time. And as I said before, they don't need any skills to make, so yeah, that's Molotovs. The next grenade we're going to talk about are plasma grenades. These are very much just like enhanced versions of frag grenades. These require 4 adhesive, 4 aluminium, 2 circuitry, 3 nuclear material and 1 spring. Nuclear material comes from lots of enemies such as glowing mole rats, glowing 1 ghouls, glowing mutant hounds. You see there's a bit of a theme here. Anything that has glowing in it and is glowing green will probably drop nuclear material when it dies. Super mutant suiciders, when they explode, they'll drop some nuclear material as well. Blast radius board games will have nuclear material. Things like biometric scanners and quite a lot of other loot will have nuclear material. Vault 88, if we look on the map, Vault 88 is all the way down here in Quincy Quarries. If you do the DLC, then you'll get into the tunnels underneath Quincy Quarries, open up Vault 88, and there is a lot of uranium down there that you can scrap, and that obviously gives you you nuclear material. There is only one merchant that will sell you nuclear material, and that is Alexis Coombs in Vault 81. Not difficult to find, you can find it very easily at the start of the game. You just follow the railroad all the way south and you'll get to Vault 81. So yeah, Alexis Coombs will also sell you nuclear material. When you have all your nuclear material, bring it to a chemistry station and make yourself some lovely plasma grenades. As we see, these do 431 ballistic damage, the base level of damage is 150, and they also do 150 energy damage. Now you will notice on the left hand side that the 150 energy damage has not been increased by the demolition expert skill, but the ballistic damage has. For some reason the energy damage is not increased, but when you add these together, as we see, it is 581 damage, which is a huge amount, so these are very much upgraded versions of frag grenades. One other grenade you can make are pulse grenades. They're a complete waste of time, because as we see on the left hand side, their damage is 150, and this is the base amount because, again, the damage is not being increased by demolition's expert skill. If you want to make them, they do 4 adhesive, 3 aluminium, 1 circuitry, 2 nuclear material and 1 spring, and these will make you crappy grenades that only ever do 150 damage. Or you make plasma or frags which do like 4, 5, 600, so again, don't make pulse grenades, they're absolute crap. Something which is not absolute crap is the first of the mines you can make, and this is the deadly Bottlecap Mine. And to make a Bottlecap Mine, you will need 2 units of adhesive, 2 units of fertilizer, 2 units of oil, 2 units of steel, and 1 Vault-Tec Lunchbox. Vault-Tec Lunchboxes you can find all over the Commonwealth. Very good places to find them are the various schools. They are guaranteed to have lots of them. So places like the Suffolk County Charter School, this is the one with the pink zombies, that has lots. Shaw High School will have a few. University Point I don't think has very many. South Boston High School has lots. DB Technical School has lots, so yeah, find the schools and you'll find lots of lunchboxes. At the start of the game in Cambridge, very close to the police station and College Square, you exit the police station, turn left, go up the hill, and just before you get into College Square, turn right. There is a little cafeteria in here that usually has 2 or 3 Vault-Tec lunchboxes for you as well. And if you have the Contraptions DLC, you can create a big machine with conveyor belts and a manufacturing machine and hoppers and all that kind of nonsense, and that will make you Vault-Tec lunchboxes out of steel. So yeah, they are effectively infinite if you can be bothered to go through all that rigmarole. Steel is absolutely everywhere, you know where to get steel, but if you need steel, there are 3 merchants that sell it. In Diamond City Market, Crazy Myrna will sell you shipments of steel. Lucas Miller, the travelling armourer, will also sell you steel. As we know, he kind of hangs out around Covenant, Taffington Boathouse, Greentop kind of area. And the last one that will sell you steel is Rufus in Goodneighbour. He will sell you steel as well. So yeah, steel is infinite. So when you have your Vault-Tec lunchbox and your steel, you bring them to your chemistry station and you make this Bottlecap Mine. Now these do 300 ballistic damage without skills at the base level. And as we see, you need Demolition Expert rank 1 to make it, which will increase that by a certain amount. And when you have maximum skills like I do, you're doing 863 ballistic damage over a very wide area, which is a huge amount of damage, and it will drop caps all over the floor that you can pick up as well, so you get paid for killing things. So yeah, Bottlecap Mines are absolutely evil. The next mines we're going to look at are the regular fragmentation mines. I'm not sure why you would have to make them yourself. You will find them everywhere. Everywhere there's mines, most of them will be frag mines that you can disarm and pick up and then place down yourself. But if you run out, or you can't find any, you can make them. And fragmentation mines need 3 adhesive, 3 aluminium, 3 fertilizer, 3 oil and 2 steel. These will only do 100 ballistic damage base rate. As we see with my maximum skills, I'm doing nearly 300 at 288. So yeah, frag mines are pretty cool. The next one you can make are Cryo Mines. These require 3 acid, 3 adhesive, 4 aluminium, 2 circuitry and 2 nuclear material. These do exactly the same damage as fragmentation mines, but have the additional effect of severely slowing down anything that survives the mine. So anything that somehow survives taking 288 damage to its legs, they'll probably be crippled anyway, and they'll be additionally slowed down by the cryogenic effect. So yeah, pretty nice. The next thing is very much like plasma grenades. Plasma mines are an enhanced version of the frag mines. And these need 4 adhesive, 5 aluminum, 3 circuitry, 3 fibre optics and 3 nuclear material. Fibre optics can be somewhat tricky to find. It drops from a few things like biometric scanners and things like that, but it's fairly hard to find. There is one place that has a ball load, and in fact, I'll tell you a secret, it's infinite. If you go to Jamaica Plain, all the way in the south of the map, which is here, which is a settlement you can take over underneath the town hall, when you're looking for the treasures of Jamaica Plain, there is a hallway filled with laser tripwires. You can disable all of them. There's about 30 or 40 of them, and each one you disable will give you fibre optics and crystal. And then you can go back to the start of the corridor. There's a big red button. You press that, and sometimes it turns on the tripwires back on, and then you can disarm them again for infinite fibre optics and infinite crystal. If you don't want to do that, or if pressing the red button doesn't turn them on, and if the Brotherhood of Steel is still alive, Proctor Tegan will sell you shipments of fibre optics. If Proctor Tegan's dead, then nil disparandum. Alexis Coombs in Vault 81 will also sell you shipments of fibre optics, so you can always get fibre optics. And when you have your fibre optics, you bring them to your chemistry station and you make yourself some enhanced mines. And again, very much like the plasma grenades, the energy part of them is not enhanced. So as we see, the ballistic damage has been increased up to 431, but the energy damage is not. It's still only 150, but when you add these together, it's 581 damage, which is a lot. Similarly to pulse grenades, pulse mines are completely useless. They need 4 adhesive, 4 aluminum, 3 circuitry, 2 fibre optics and 3 nuclear material, and they only ever do 150 energy damage because, again, demolition expert or science do not increase the damage. This is only the base damage. So pulse mines, absolutely useless. The final thing we're going to talk about in this video series is cutting fluid. This is a way of getting oil if you cannot find oil anywhere. I'm not sure why you'd be unable to find oil, because oil is very common. It's found in lots of different places, but if you can't find it, or if you've run out and you can't be bothered to go to the people that sell you shipments of oil, which is quite a few, you can make cutting fluid. Cutting fluid is found in the utility section. This is it. It requires 2 units of purified water, 2 units of acid, 8 units of bones and 3 units of steel. And as we see, it breaks down into 1 unit of steel and 3 oil. So this is a way of getting oil. Where can we get bones? There's a few places you can get bones. Things like Deathclaw hands will drop bones, so if you want to go play with the Deathclaws in the Glowing Sea, or in Natting Banks and up here at the Boston Mayoral Shelter, feel free. Each of their hands will drop 5 bones. That's quite a lot of bones. If you go to the Wildwood Cemetery and kill all the ghouls, in one of the mausoleums you'll find quite a lot of bones lying around, which is good. And if you come to Cutler Bend, which is close to the Glowing Sea, in a shack, once you've killed all the Mirelurks, you will find another complete skeleton. But you'll find Brahmin skulls and just random bones lying around. There's some bones in the mole rat den underneath the Red Rocket truck stop, and that is also a good place to get bones, not only because of that, but because mole rat teeth are an excellent source of bones. And as we know, the Red Rocket truck stop above and below is infested with mole rats, and all these hills up here are infested with mole rats. Beyond the robotics disposal ground, there's even more up here, and there's explosive mole rats here. So this is mole rat central. You'll get lots of teeth. That means lots of bones. So that is one way you can get bones from making cutting fluid to get oil if you are somehow unable to find oil. And that indeed brings us to the end of the chemistry station demonstration series. Hope you found this informative. We've had good fun making things that go boom. We've discovered that pulse grenades and pulse mines are absolutely useless because for some reason none of the various perks in the game increase their damage. So always go ballistic or plasma if you can. Do come back for the next video, and do look after yourself until then. I will see you later.